Pursuing career in healthcare was a safe bet. Even now, in the middle of AI storm, when junior roles are being replaced en masse and recent graduates cannot find jobs, healthcare is booming. Just last month, healthcare added more than 55,000 jobs, more than all other sectors combined. If you ask Google, will AI replace doctors? You will see that human healthcare professionals, they're not going to be replaced by AI, because AI lacks empathy, judgment, and ability to build human trust. So going to med school looks like the smartest, the safest choice, right? But it is not. In this video, I will show why going to medical school is the worst move you can make. Welcome to AI Survival Guide. Every Friday in just 8 minutes you get one headline, one chart, and one takeaway. No hype, no doom. I'm Scripter, AI expert, economist, and former Forbes columnist. And our goal here is to keep your career AI relevant. A quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or medical specialist, I'm an AI expert. But as a founder of an AI medical device startup, I have seen how quickly AI is transforming healthcare. What happens when you decide to become a doctor? Well, two things. First, you make a very strong commitment. Ever heard of, for example, neurosurgeon switching to anesthesiology? Me neither. Once you choose your path, you walk it to the end. What that basically means is that it is virtually impossible for doctors to pivot. And second is that time to money in this profession is extremely long. It usually takes 5 to 6 years before you see your first patient. Well, a patient that is truly yours. So imagine that you enter medical school next year, 2026. And if you're lucky, by 2031 you will have your first patient. And then, on average, you will pay off your debt, student debt, by 2040. And now the key question. Where AI will be by 2040? Keep in mind that ChatGPT was launched just 4 years ago, and now it's everywhere, it's viral. AI is moving faster than any other technology in human history. So what will it do to the major medical specialties? Let's take a look. First, let's look at the knowledge-based specialties. Family medicine, GPs, internal medicine, pediatrics. Roles where you first build your expertise and then you spend your career selling that expertise to your patients. Functionally, that's very much like lawyers and accountants and other white-collar professions. I already had a video about how this knowledge-based AI replacement works. And these basic medical specialists, they are very similar to typical white-collar roles. And just like as in finance and in law, in healthcare we have already hit the point where AI is making better decisions, for example, diagnosing even complex conditions. And it is becoming increasingly clear that in many cases, human patients prefer talking to AI over a human doctor. And we already see the same scenario playing out in other areas. For example, in Uber case. Because Uber already has a few cities where they offer both human drivers as cab drivers and robotic cabs, driverless cabs. And what we see is that it turned out that human riders, when they pick a cab, they skipping human drivers until they get that robocab. What this means is that in many cases, humans actually prefer to deal with AI. And that's true for healthcare as well. In many cases, humans, when they're talking to an AI doctor, they're actually willing to share more accurate data, including very intimate data, which eventually improves health outcomes. If you want to know my opinion, most of these knowledge-based specialties, healthcare specialties, they won't make it past 2035. What about advanced specialties like surgery? Well, they definitely will stay longer. But how much longer? Will they stay until 2040 or 2045? Will they stay until you pay off your student debt? And now the question is, considering all that, are you ready to bet your career? Well, and technically not just career, but pretty much everything, considering that doctors cannot switch, they cannot pivot. So are you ready to bet everything on that? Are there any alternatives? If medical school is no go, what's left? What is a survival strategy? So that's exactly the type of question we tackle here in AI Survival Guide. Let's be honest, there aren't many alternatives. And the high status ones are even fewer. Because what happens here is that AI wave is actually destroying, replacing those mass professions that were well paid and high status, prestigious professions, like law and finance. And doctors are on the same list. And yes, many individual healthcare professionals are already riding this AI wave. What they effectively do, they combine their years of expertise and the data that they have accumulated through their career. They combine it with AI. So effectively, they are implementing AI in their domain. And that is paid exceptionally well. But by definition, only a few can ride this AI wave. Simply because AI needs data and expertise just from one first pioneer. And once it gets it, that's pretty much it. Game over. It doesn't need anything else. And for that same reason, AI doesn't really need new grads because they have neither expertise nor data. The experienced, the well-established healthcare professionals, they probably still have time, 5, 10, maybe even more years before AI takes over. But for the newer generation, the story is different. For them, the question is no longer which specialty provides the brightest future, no. What matters now is not really prestige or pay. What matters now is survival. If we're talking about the young generation in healthcare, right now there is, I believe, only one mass profession that actually has AI future, that is AI proof. And what I'm gonna say now probably gonna be very unpopular and not many people gonna like what I'm about to say. But I'm gonna say it because I think this is true. So the only mass profession that has AI future is nursing. The AI medical device that we've built at PosiSense, the company that I founded, was designed for nurses. And I've spent more than 3 years in nursing homes and in geriatric wards in hospitals, observing and researching how nurses do their work. So that gave me some domain knowledge, and it makes me certain about what I'm gonna say. Well, at least 90% certain. It's gonna take decades before AI replaces nurses. Nurses will be in demand. Nursing means survival. Well, of course, nobody really wants to be a regular nurse because it's tiring, mind-numbing, and low paid. But a registered nurse is different. It is actually closer to a doctor than to a nurse. And if we talk about the US, the pay is, well, reasonable. Currently, it's somewhere close to 100K per year. And time to money is quick. You can get all necessary training in as little as 2 years. That's critical for AI survival. Yes, it is not prestigious, you're not gonna drive a Porsche, and your mom won't brag to the neighbors that her child is a doctor. But you will be in demand. But what if nursing is not for you? Well, good news. Because when I said that AI replaces mass professions, that wording was deliberate. Because AI is wiping out mass professions pretty much across the entire spectrum. But while it is doing so, it is also creating niche professions. And in the next video, we will show an approach that helps find those AI-driven niches. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you need more, in this video we talk about why knowledge-based professions, including healthcare, became such an easy prey for AI. And in this video, we talk about the jobs boom that is currently happening in AI energy sector. I think you may find both of them interesting. See you on the other side.